All right, planning board, EDC.
Nice.
Where am I again? November
Bolton.
6th, EDC, yeah, Bolton, all right. Who are you? You're just here to watch her.
Yeah, I'm Connie Murphy, I'm on the Berlin Economic Development
Oh,
Committee.
okay.
I'm Michael's aunt,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
I thought he was coming tonight too.
Oh,
I
sorry.
think he
He
said
might
yes.
be running late.
No, he backed out, he
Yeah.
sent me an email, he backed
Oh,
out
okay.
last minute.
Oh, okay.
I guess
He had
his wife
trouble.
was busy and
Yeah.
had to watch his son or something.
Yeah, he had to take care of Zach, he wasn't sure whether he'd bring Zach or not.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
so, sorry to disappoint you.
No, that's okay.
All right, I don't have any minutes. Does anybody want to take minutes for this meeting?
You don't want me to do
Anybody?
it. I really suck at it. You don't want me to do it.
Didn't bring a pen.
I will volunteer. I will
Didn't
take
even bring a
minutes.
pen. Sorry.
That'd be great. Oh, see?
Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh, she brought her whole binder, she's
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
whole binder every time.
Yeah.
I just saw this, I went on to the website today, both through the website, and I don't know if you guys noticed, it's a new website now.
Yeah.
I had to change all our links on our EDC business site
Oh,
because of the change. I
Yeah.
had to get those all in place this week too, last week.
Yeah, we'll get through that.
No, that's already done, but,
All right, so let's
all right, let's go.
jump into the REAP project. So typically in the past, I assume we want to keep on doing this. The EDC has been having the businesses sponsor a REAP pretty much for I think $30 a pop. And that's the REAPs we've been putting up down the road. I assume that the EDC wants to continue that. We typically put them up, I think, in like the first or second week of December. So we need to publish a little flyer. Pretty much just change the date. So you said you were going to talk to Lisa?
I sent an email over to Lisa, and it fell lined up here.
Yeah.
I'll follow up with her again, but if we have the Word doc, I'm gonna see if we have the Word version. If we have
Yeah.
the Word version, we can do it ourselves.
Do we have a Word version?
She
I do
doesn't
not,
know.
but I think he'll be tonight.
Okay.
I'll check my email, see if it's in there.
So, yeah, we need to get that out.
Hey, and once we get out, do we just send it to you and we send
Just
out?
send it to me. So last
Okay.
year it worked pretty well. I think all we did was Facebook, and then I sent emails to all the businesses in town. and
Okay.
We had a pretty good turnout just for
And I know we'd also posted it in the Bolton banner too.
Oh, did we?
We did.
Okay.
Helena actually took care of that last
Okay.
year.
In the what?
In the Bolton, whatever that town, is it?
The newspaper?
The newspaper,
Oh,
yeah.
Bolton Independent?
Bolton Independent, yeah.
Oh,
It was in
I did
there.
not.
You know, actually, I think she did do it in like a editorial type.
Yeah, do you think we should do that again,
Or
or?
letters to the editor or something.
I don't think it's.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll do
One
it.
less thing to worry about.
Yeah. But yeah, so we should,
Oh,
I'll put it out on Facebook.
we'll do one. My
Yeah.
office will do one.
Yeah, so we'll put it on Facebook. I think
The meeting will vote.
it gets pretty good, reception. People like it, and then we, put
And
out.
last year's wreaths were really nice. They
Yeah.
were actually in the appropriate spot on the poles. So they
Yeah.
weren't so far up, and the ribbons weren't purple. They were actually red. So
So we're gonna,
yeah.
you know that you put them up last year, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we set
I
it
don't
up.
remember what I did.
They looked really good, but we actually, Mark, you would actually let us set up, put the wreaths together at your house. Are you still gonna offer that this year?
Yeah. we can
Okay,
put it
awesome.
together. Yeah, yeah.
Would you be able to help putting them up again, or do you not have the resources?
I might need some bodies to help, but we could probably swing something.
Yeah,
I might
but-
need somebody to help,
So you're
just
going
hand
to the back of the
wreaths.
truck or something?
Yeah, somebody like just to hand wreaths on the back of truck while another guy drives, and I don't know how many bodies I'll have
Okay.
available with busy stuff, but somebody
Yeah.
could just hand me a wreath as we go and stuff.
So that would be
So-
good.
It all depends, you never know. So,
So we'll check the document.
what's the date for all this gonna be, do you think? What was it last year?
I was looking at the calendar. Let me check my email. I had sent to Lisa because I
On
actually
the week
given
of December
dates.
1st, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, I had sent an email to Lisa with dates already.
During the day, right?
Yeah, we do it during the
Yeah, if you
day.
need a body, let me know.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, you're like in between things. Plenty of time.
December 3rd.
Oh, all about that.
What else do you want?
My
What is
wife
it for?
is wreaths now.
So when do we sometime in the 4th to the 8th of December, or is that too early?
No, I think that's, last year we put them up the week of the 1st, I think it
Yeah.
was. So,
We
yeah,
got them right up
Yeah,
that week.
yeah.
So it's also weather dependent, if we have a big snowstorm coming.
In midweek, middle of the day is best when there's no traffic, right? Versus the weekend, or?
Oh yeah, we do it during the week. Yeah, we do it in the middle of a weekday because then we don't have to deal with all the all the traffic and all
By
that
9
stuff.
o'clock, it's pretty well slacked out.
That's what we
And I
do.
can get out of my driveway.
Oh, so one thing I just thought about, it was usually Bruce Slater
Right.
who purchased the wreaths, so how are we gonna get it?
Could do it through Bolton Orchards or something, or,
You want me
Don't-
to reach out to Bolton Orchard?
yeah, I mean, unless somebody has another idea.
We don't want to ask him.
What's the question?
Bruce Slater?
Yeah.
I think he got it through
Some wholesale.
We got it
Some
through
wholesale.
Wilson.
Wilson Farms, yeah.
Wilson Farms
Yeah.
in Lexington. So worst case scenario, we can just call Wilson Farms and send a truck down and get them
Prefer
ourselves.
to use a local business, but we'll see
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
price
so
is.
let's find out from Bolton, let's give Bolton Orchards, we never bought them through them, so you should give them some, unless there's another business
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
wreaths also, we should probably spread it around each
Yeah.
year to each one.
And what was the size we went with last year? I know we upped it, didn't we?
It was 30 inch, wasn't it, last year, or 33?
Oh my God, I don't have any.
I'll have to
I have
look back
pictures
at
and we
it.
might be able to determine via the pictures,
Well,
but there was, you wanna know
So we're
who's gonna
gonna
remember that?
We're gonna.
Elaine.
Elaine.
I
She would, that's right.
So
'cause-
we'll match last year. I'll just
Yeah.
put that and I'll look it up.
yeah,
Oh, yes, and they held together a lot better last year and they were a lot easier to put up.
Ooh, maybe
Whatever.
they'll come with the bows this year. That would be really nice.
Oh,
But we'll find out.
When we put the balls
don't
on-
get us too excited here.
Yeah.
You guys like hand fold the bows last year?
No, 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 come on, whoa.
This is sounding pretty creative.
You're looking at this, have you taken a look at this crew? Do we look like bow folders? No, we just
Totally.
put them on the back and twisted them on. We came up with a pretty good way of doing it.
do we wanna keep it at $30 because we're starting to get a surplus, or is it good to have that for something else, or should we lower it a little?
I think it's fair, reasonable.
Yeah, $30 is reasonable, and remember,
Because right now we have, what, 1,300 actually in the account, which we were talking about using for the Bolton Hometown Heroes, giving them some money to put up brackets.
yeah,
I know she's still working on the banners
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lining that up, but
there's an
Yeah,
ad.
they're $40 a bracket, $40 a piece for each bracket, so if
Yeah.
you give them 10, that's $40. And I think we should double the print of the Bolton brochures this year too, do you think?
but we can't use this money for that. so-
Okay, we can't?
No,
No? Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's its own fund, so I think the brackets are fine, because we kind of maybe,
Well, it's adopt a poll.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of making our polls, try to make them look prettier.
So we can also then say thank you to the businesses for the brackets and all that junk for the Hometown Heroes. So yeah, that's fine, keep the same money, so what I say. So advertising, so we'll get that document and see if we can
I'll
update
track
it.
that down, yep.
So if we
I'll own
can
the document.
get it out this week, so we can have a month of collection.
Yep.
And then, so yeah, I'll take care of that. And then funds, wreath selection, I think, so. So who's, are you gonna drive this, or?
I'm just owning the dock, I'm not driving this at all. I'm not
So
doing
who's-
anymore for a while.
So who's gonna,
I need a
does somebody
break.
wanna call Bolton Orchards, or this Wilson's place? Anybody?
I know Joel, so
Huh?
I can call Bolton Orchard.
Okay, alright.
So how many do we get? How many?
Well, it depends on how many people
We
buy.
did
Yeah.
39,
39.
is that how many we placed last year?
Yeah, we placed them all, and we skipped a lot of, there's a lot of polls that we didn't skip a lot of, there's a lot of polls that just don't make sense to
Yeah.
put a wreath.
It looked really good driving down
Yeah,
Main Street.
so we
Really nice.
took
The best year
liberties
ever,
to
I
make sure
thought.
that we hit the polls that were the important polls and not the polls that were the unimportant polls. So like there's some that are set way back
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna own just getting the dock, I'll send it over to you, and then
Send them
who's gonna
out.
own the remaining steps?
I had no problem reaching out to Bolton Orchards.
Okay.
39 wreaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had,
Sooner.
we must have had 40, we didn't order them.
39.
And they, I think they came in boxes of packs of a certain number or something,
Okay.
you know, so just, I think we need to find out the information. If it's individual or if it's whatever.
Okay.
Remember the bows themselves definitely were in boxes, Erica, that were like like 12 bows per box or 10 bows
Okay.
per box or
Okay.
something. So we had way more bows than we needed, I think, for some reason. I don't know how that worked out.
They were nice bows too.
They were really nice
They were
bows.
really nice bows.
They were.
I don't know anything about bows, but these were really nice bows.
I don't know anything about art, but I know what I like.
Yeah, I was like,
All right.
oh, these are nice.
So I think we're good with that.
Okay.
So brochure update. So we got 1,000 of them, and we pretty much handed them all out. I had even had more people even asking, so I think I have like 30 of them at home left. But
No, I
I was just gonna say, Neshoba Winery was just eating them up like crazy. I would go there like once a week.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
And they
Absolutely.
was saying like every other person that came in, because you would go in there and you can't even move in there
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
weekend.
Yeah.
They said like every other person, because the J's is like booked up, like completely. You can't even, like if you're walking up, you're like, oh, I wonder the restaurant's completely booked up. So every other person's like, oh, where can we go to eat? And so they were like, she would say like literally every other person would either take a brochure or look at it and see what the rest of the were. So I just kept on handing them to
Yeah,
them. But,
yeah, well, that's good.
Yitzowitz and Shartner loved them. And I know the lady from Shartner said that like a lot more like towny type people go to Shartner, not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
out of,
right.
like, or people who lived in town but moved out and they came and they loved seeing the map and all that stuff. So there's nothing but positive feedback with it. And so I don't know if we print right away again or if we wait.
I think we should wait, well, it takes a long time just to get edits done
Yeah.
and changes.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to change, I think we should start
Yeah.
incorporating them in probably January.
Yeah, I don't know that there
January.
was many changes, but let me give it a couple of months.
We now have the antique place that wasn't on there
That's
before.
true. That's true.
And then also Colonial Candies, I don't know if that's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone, right?
So that's
What,
something
yeah,
we're gonna
what,
have to
closing
shift.
After Christmas?
I mean, I don't know what their story is. They still seem to be open. I know you.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're closing, it's
Yeah.
just
So-
they're selling the entire business.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still are advertising and stuff. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Those
Those are the only two that I can.
Yeah, it's a good idea to wait.
And also you wanna get the art play, Baba Arts on there too, because I think now they have an actual
cool.
business now too,
Yes,
right?
we
So
can
that's
update
like
it.
another one, so there's three things right there.
And I've talked to
Maria's had reached out for Minuteman, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, she just wanted a couple just to put in their portfolio or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know that Erica Ewing said that she would be like, if we can incorporate photos in somehow and make it a little bit more slick looking, like something in the background or something. I don't know how. I'm not like a technical person with that.
I don't know if, I mean, I think it's fine the way it is.
Oh, like
I
a
think,
watermark kind of
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
a,
Something.
she would know.
Yeah. I don't. Just something to think about if we want to
Yeah.
upgrade it somehow.
I'm not gonna own that upgrade.
Yeah. No, yeah. It shouldn't be hard for me.
I'm done with any of those.
Yeah.
Oh, you big
So
bee.
do we?
No, they take
Before we do numbers.
Yeah, I think we'll probably wait.
And then also this website thing took forever.
Yeah.
Definitely have to run another set this spring or
So
summer
we'll have
for the
light
next
modifications
next
to
year.
it, yeah.
But yeah,
If somebody wants to own like an additional effort on it and maybe change it, then, you know, we can do something like that, but maybe we stick to
the hotel at the International just grabbed like 50 or something from me because they have people coming in.
Oh, yeah, that's, they probably wanna know what else to do in town,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fantastic
Yeah.
to give to them, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it went great. People
That's
loved
awesome, yeah, they're great.
them. The only one issue I've seen is some of the printing on the roads.
Yeah, we saw that last meeting,
I
yeah.
don't know what happened.
Well,
with
next
it.
year, we'll just make sure we
Yeah.
tell the guy here
Yeah.
in town when he does print them,
Yeah.
make sure that those are, maybe he does one print first, and then
Yeah.
we look at it, make sure, you and I
Well-
kind of scan it to make sure it is, everything
Yeah.
does look right, and then he goes on to print it.
I looked at the draft, but I guess I didn't catch that, or maybe it wasn't in the draft, but something happened with, maybe the lettering was too small for, I don't know why it would have happened,
Yeah.
but,
Do we have an electronic format?
Yeah,
An
we do.
EPS of that?
yeah, we got like the design documents and everything from Minuteman if we wanted to do it ourselves, but we can go back there. So I think that's, oh, and then I talked to the people who weren't doing the website. I talked to Amy, Gwen, and Robert about my idea of like a coupon insert type thing. So maybe for the next time when we do it. But
If they wanna start that effort, they should probably start by November.
but I mean, or it doesn't have to be them. I just brought it up as a potential project idea. If we wanted to have, what I envisioned was like a card that fit inside the
Brochure.
brochure and it, 3 or 4 coupons. Yeah, 3 or 4. I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but
Well, I was talking to the guys at the Bolton Bean about it,
yeah.
and they saw no upside to them for that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, maybe there's no upside to businesses. It was just an idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they couldn't figure out how to make that work,
Yeah, that's fine. And if businesses don't want it, then that's fine.
yeah.
So, for the Halloween parade,
We already have the flyer there to sort of navigate people
Yeah.
to the restaurants.
Yeah.
What's the point of giving them now money? You know?
yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean?
No,
There aren't a lot of options here in town anyway. If you're really hungry, you're gonna figure it out quick.
Yeah. That's fine. Same thing, like, I know, like, when I brought up, like, a farmer's market, all the farmers are like, we don't wanna be involved, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Businesses don't wanna be involved,
Yeah.
and they don't want it, it's fine. So, I mean, that's good feedback. So one less thing to worry about.
Yep.
But I know, like, for the Halloween parade, which I made that little stack of, like,
Yep,
little
I gave away
handouts.
a bunch of them.
Yeah, so maybe that's just a little hand. My thought was just a cheaper handout, and I actually just used Microsoft Paint, cut pieces of the brochure off the PDF and made that little handout.
And I thought it looked great.
Yeah.
Well, what format did they do it in, Rick, do you know? They do it in like Illustrator or something like that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
I didn't make
sure.
the program.
Yeah.
We got a PDF copy, and then we got like the design file copy.
You did?
Yeah.
Like an EPS?
I can get. I
Yeah.
can forward it out to
Yeah, if
everybody.
you forward it out, I might know what format it's in. It's
Yeah.
probably an Illustrator. Most of those
It probably
design
is.
people use it in
Maybe.
Illustrator. It
I
just-
mean, when I made that little handout, I just Microsoft Paint, cut and paste, and put stuff in. It looked fine to me. But that doesn't do all the
Bright red was
graphics.
just,
Yeah,
you know, eye-catching,
yeah.
and hand those out. to
I
people.
used up all
People
my
were taking
company's red ink
Yeah.
on printing that out. Okay, so maybe we won't focus on that coupon thing then. So the website, so just launched today.
Just today was
Yeah.
launched.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it was launched, I went out there to sort of do a quick QA,
Yeah,
just to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And there was 2 tabs where all the sub-tabs don't work.
oh really?
So I sent an email over
There's
to
definitely
Lisa.
mistakes, it's just good to that it's.
And then also there's an email tab to email us, but it doesn't do anything. Now, once we do get that, I presume fixed, which
Yeah.
where do you want it to go?
Probably Erica, it's probably
Erica?
best.
Okay.
Town clerk. You think so?
It can either go to me or I believe you have an email address.
Yeah,
that's
I do,
your
yeah.
EDC, so it's up to
You
you.
can put them both there, there's options. Well, I guess, if we email.
Probably should go to the EDC chairman.
All right, fine, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, your actual regular email address?
No,
Well,
the
it's
EDC.
eric.nailen@townofbolton.biz.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
Can you
email.
say email me
Yeah.
that so I have it? Okay.
Yeah. I check
But
it.
yeah, it's up and running finally,
Yeah.
but there are,
Oh, somebody emailed me, actually, Laura Dishler. She emailed me that the Trails link is wrong.
Rails link is wrong.
So she went and looked at that and that was wrong. So I'm sure there's mistakes to it, but it's just good that 90% of it's out there, you know?
Right.
No, it looks great. Definitely.
I think the Trails link actually brings you to the actual Conservation Trust website, and then from there you could just click over.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna change that. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. If they can't navigate one additional click,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait 3 months to get
Okay.
that changed.
Well, so the next step in this is that we need to have like a little class with Lisa.
Yeah.
So,
Simple stuff, yeah.
well, because they took forever they needed to get it, they go through their error checking, and then they needed to get it transferred from one server to another, and that link is a whole ticket. And,
Right.
but there's no reason why we can't make updates moving
Simple,
forward.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Let me just. set
So a
it
group
up.
of 3 or 4 of us should,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in person, or I think you said
It's not,
virtual.
she wants to do it on virtual.
Yeah, that's fine too, so I don't know.
Is it in WordPress?
WordPress, correct.
Yeah, I don't need a class, just give me the login, I can fix it.
Yeah,
So, it's not
yeah,
a
it shouldn't be that hard.
So, WordPress is easy,
Yeah,
so.
but they'll continue to manage like
The site.
the site, like any bugs
The
or
actual CSS.
Yeah.
Which is that's the.
You want to be able to pull
background.
analytics from it too at some
Yeah.
point. That's something I want to talk to. Actually, I sent Lisa an email on also.
Yeah. But just to be able to add,
Content is nice.
like just the contacts and news stories.
Yep.
And that's mainly what
Yep.
we need.
Okay.
But definitely thank you to everybody who was working on getting all that corrected. I know there's a lot of back and forth with Lisa. So welcome sign update. So we started, all the maintenance fees are rolling in. I think we got all but 3 or 4 people, you said?
Yeah, we're waiting for 4.
So that's good. So,
So everybody but 4 has renewed?
yep, everybody but 4 had paid the $50.
Is there a certain date that it needs to be in by?
Yeah, I gave them
Take
till
the sign off.
the
Take
end
their
of
sign down,
October.
Okay.
So I'll
We have a
probably
waiting list.
send
Follow up.
another letter.
Okay.
I thought Coldwell Banker was on the sign.
I don't think so, are they?
Because
No.
Bolton Capital wants to be on it for
I
sure.
know they definitely want, there's,
From
I
a
have a
pecking order
running
standpoint.
list, yeah, I have a running list.
So, so what are the 4 that haven't paid?
It is Animal Adventures, the International, Neshoba Winery, and Chartner.
I'm sure they all want to be.
Yeah, I'm sure they all do too.
I'm sure they all do. I'd send them a final notice.
Yeah.
Big letter, final.
Final, yep.
Yours
In red.
About to sell yours
And
space.
what's the list of people? There's like a huge list of people who want on it, right?
There's not a huge
Oh, not a huge
list.
list.
So number 1 was the Quilting Crow,
Yeah.
and she's actually called again to just confirm
Yeah.
that she's on the list.
Yeah.
And then Bolton Capital Group and Dagnalls, but if they go out,
Oh,
depending
yeah,
on what that
and that's what we
building,
want to take off too.
And then what about the blank spot on there?
that's reserved for the farms, and
For a
they
farm.
want to keep it that way. Because I talked to Teresa about allowing for business.
She wants to leave it
and
open?
She said, no, she wants to leave it open.
Okay.
So,
It's just a big white open spot calling for something.
Yeah, you can't really see it though. It looks really
No,
awesome.
no.
It's a really nice sign.
it is.
Chris, you actually cut down all the stuff around there, right?
Yeah, that was
Thanks for
great. That
doing
was
that.
awesome.
Yeah, so I noticed the difference clearly.
So we have what? $400, and we'll probably get another 200. So should we be using that money towards landscaping, or I know Chris was saying that potentially we can get a landscaper to just donate the work, or at least we might have to pay for material, but
You were supposed to send me over a couple of names of some local people in town that I could call and have them do it for free, possibly.
okay. Well, so what were your thoughts on that, Chris?
It was just a suggestion that we, at the base of the rocks, we have sort of a mini version of the big sign. And it just be for this area maintained by the
Yeah.
company name there.
Oh, yeah.
And then what we would do is have them, we can talk about this, we can talk to just landscaping companies, or we can talk to any company. We can have them either bid on a dollar amount they're willing to spend for that.
It's a good idea.
Landscaping company, I mean, it's gonna be bigger lettering than everybody on the sign, right? It's gonna be a really valuable
Yeah.
thing. And say, okay, well, we get 5 companies that come and say, okay, I'll do this, I'll put boxwood shrubs,
Yeah,
I'll keep it trimmed a foot below the wall,
yeah.
I'll put annuals in every spring, and, I'll keep all
That's
the
a good
weeds down.
idea,
I'll
yeah.
get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another company says, well, I'll just weed whack it, that's all.
Yeah, because it looks,
Isn't there someone right now that does the town common for free? He lives in my development, I believe. He does all the maintenance there for free. I mean, if anything, we should kind of ask those people first if they want to have if they're doing that much good for us already.
Because there's no sign on the common saying
Yeah, I know,
Right.
done by.
the space
Yeah.
maintained.
The other thing we'll need to think about though too, not to be a downer, but there's no advertisement on town property. So I've just got to figure out where.
Is that on
No,
town property
what?
though?
No
Is it?
advertisement on town property.
because
just
the
not
right
allowed.
of way is town property, you're saying?
Yeah, so I'll just have to figure out if we can put it before that.
Well,
stone wall.
Is that just us, or how do they, because all, like Lancaster has it at all their things, this maintained by such and such, and Yarmouth has it maintained by this business, all their
Yeah.
islands
Yeah.
are.
Maybe it's just something that needs to get approved by Board of Selectmen
Yeah, I
or
think we need
something,
to
but I'll
bring it
talk to
in front of
Don
that.
and see
Yeah.
if it's something that we
Because
can.
the
I think
sign
we-
got approved, right?
Yeah.
The sign did, but it's on private property.
Yeah.
It's on previous.
So what about, I noticed that Oxbow sign is back.
It is. So they,
How's that keep creeping back? I mean, I don't mind, but I thought it was gone and then I
No,
noticed it was there.
It's just an endangered species.
No, they
Yeah.
actually reached out to me and they said, why did you guys take our sign down? We
Yeah.
got approved by Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
they
I mean, that's
went
fine.
ahead
It's
and put
just
it back
one.
up.
But the other day I drove by, it was that sign and then that's the thing for at the fairground, the tie rods or something. I'm like, what? This is like all these signs sticking
Well, that's a
out.
temporary sign,
That's
that should
temporary,
be
I know.
able to go up and come down.
I know.
But you should go in front of the selectmen and you should take action on that, Eric.
What, the Oxbow? I mean, I don't
Just-
mind about
The
that.
signs in period, and and get them.
But it's only that one, it's just, I guess we just have to make sure
We
that,
look like Sanford and Son with the signs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am
Yeah.
like sick of looking at crappy metal signs thrown up by
I
anybody.
mean, I
Half of
noticed it,
them are-
yeah. You don't notice it too much when you're coming off the highway, but when you're coming off of Sugar, I'm like,
The
What is it?
speed limit signs are now starting to irk me on the new poles, which are held on by tie wraps and crooked. I
what,
can't
the
stand
new,
things
the
that are
new
crooked.
poles?
Yeah, have you noticed
Yeah.
that signs are crooked?
I did notice that on one of them.
Well, I noticed that like,
The one by the library.
like 3 days after they put up, one of them wasn't working. It's not enough
This is
sun or
not enough
something.
sun, I
Yeah.
think, and that's why.
But we should definitely, we put all this time and money and these people are paying into it.
Yeah.
To just let people just start
I mean, I guess,
tossing up
what is
signs
Foxborough?
willy-nilly
Is
should
that a
not occur.
private, or is that, what
I
is
think
that?
it's state, so
State.
So
that's
someone
why
that
that
own
one
that,
was a little.
own that effort about actually.
Well,
putting-
Yeah.
Well, why can't they be put in the last spot in the sign? Because that's kind of
Farming.
agricultural farming.
Conservation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and that's conservation, that's the place for it, and we put oxbow in there and point there and get rid of that oxbow thing.
Point on that.
You
Something
know,
to look
Yeah, I
into.
think so.
and, we start, we need to just, we spent all this time and effort on it, we don't want it to be like, so oxbow then comes in and then somebody says, well, they have a sign, why can't I get one, because there's no room on your other sign, and you let oxbow do it, whoa, Grant.
Well, that's what I
We're
was
just gonna
saying.
get
It's
into
like, yeah.
arguments, it just start getting them out, you know?
Um,
And by the way, the state didn't do us any favors by
Well,
not
I was
allowing
just
us
gonna
to put our sign on the
I was
other
just gonna
side.
say,
So
can we
tell
deal
them
with
we're
the state?
kicking your sign out.
so like, yeah, can
You
we
know?
put our second sign up, and if not,
That's,
then-
yeah, I was just gonna bring that up, so
Yeah.
we still have the second sign to put up, it's just
yeah.
who's gonna volunteer to put it up,
Yeah.
or, do we have
Well,
funding?
can
to
we put it up?
hire?
Do we have approval now?
We've always had approval to do just a generic
Yeah.
sign, Mass
Yeah.
Just the
DOT was
bolt.
fine
The
with
second
that.
sign?
Yeah,
It's getting somebody to
So
do
how
it.
do,
it's just getting someone to put it up, and it's
because
gonna
Rich
be
isn't interested, Rich
challenging.
isn't interested, right?
I doubt it,
That's a
he's so
guy from,
busy.
Neshoba.
yeah.
Who did the first one?
Rich did
Rich.
the first sign.
But also, you remember, but when he did the first time though, he did an okay job, but then someone came in
But
this
we're
year
on
and
that
actually did
too,
the appropriate
Should we ask?
lay the,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think we should be doing.
Well, this is
Because
just
he
a more
poured
challenging site.
concrete, he did all
Right,
the
'cause
right
it could
things
be
to secure
bedrock.
eyes.
That was Bob Romer who did it this
Yeah.
last time. He planned all
So
that
it's-
out, right?
who can we, somebody in town we can ask, or?
We have a new DPW director, let me talk to him and see what he thinks,
Yeah,
go from there.
yeah, that'd be good. Right, because it's, and then we have all those.
Maybe he knows of a
signs.
resource that I'm not thinking of.
And we have all those signs there, and that spot, that,
Yeah, this has gotta we gotta clean up these intersections.
Yeah.
They're starting, we're trying to make this.
I mean, it
right
looks-
down this road by the highway. I complained about that when I first came to these meetings about how ugly the signs are. They're crooked and bent, and
Yeah.
and there's like 22 signs, the span of like an eighth of a mile.
I know.
And like, can we just at least merge some of these signs on one pole instead of
or
22?
at least straighten out the pole.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, it's embarrassing. This wouldn't this wouldn't happen in Concord or Lexington.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just wouldn't.
So we'll have, so there's $600 and we using that for landscape, or we using that for?
well, we might need to use that for sign installation.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, if
Oh, we might
a new,
need to use it.
a new business has to pay for a new sign, is that right?
Well, don't we already have the, is
No,
that
no.
sign already done though?
Eric, we still have to install the other sign on
The
the
other
other side.
signage that we
Let's
have,
hold
is that-
on to
Well,
our
for the
money
other
until
location,
we
that's done.
figure
That's
out
all,
where we are
everything.
there.
We
I
just
still
need to
don't,
get that
I still
done.
don't think
Yeah.
I still don't think $600 will even cover that, because there's probably gonna be some
Well, then we need to
tough, yeah.
get some more money to
So,
pay. How are we gonna pay for that?
Are we talking about installation and the building of the sign being the same
The
thing by
sign-
the same person?
We have this, we have the sign.
Okay, so it looks like the one that's out there now.
It's, well,
It's a
so
smaller
it's
version,
a
or?
small, it's just like the center version.
Okay.
Okay.
It's welcome to Bolton, and then it's kind of generic stuff like public buildings. The thing is, that's state land and Mass
But
Dot's.
we have approval for it.
Yes.
Mass Dot didn't want individual businesses because they said that they can buy the blue signs on the highway. So it's a smaller sign that just says welcome to Bolton, and it says town buildings this
It
way.
doesn't sound like it would cost that much to put it up, but that's just me. I
You
don't-
can't buy the blue
But
signs
who-
on the
who
highway.
made the
There's only
sign?
4
Who made the
allowed
sign?
It's
per.
an Australian-
It's this company in Australia, amazingly enough.
Yeah,
D'Antonio Designs,
Yeah.
I believe.
yeah. They do a nice job, actually.
They do a good job, little
Yeah.
complicated being in Australia with the time difference, but.
I'm not
What
sure.
did that cost?
A
The
lot.
sign?
A lot less than,
Manufactured in Australia.
a lot less than buying it in the US.
Really?
significantly
Wait,
less.
but how much? The reason I'm asking
Do you have
is
that
I'm
number?
wondering if this company could.
Was it like $8,000?
quarter.
Either 8 or 10, it was like between 8 and 10.
For the two signs combined, it was like $8,000, $9,000.
Okay.
And our other bid was like 20, right, or
I think
something?
it's like 15.
It just seems like it's three poles essentially, and with like
Right.
wood slats going across. I
Wait,
just
wait,
think
wait.
it's like
It wasn't half of the
robbery,
sign
we got
that
a
we
tattoo on our
had. It was
forehead.
like
It just seems like it's just a
vinyl
lie
version.
to pay for that, right?
But it's really, it's, you know.
But it's a nice sign. This
Yeah.
does, and I don't think this one's also made of a material where it's not gonna sort of like fall
Like,
apart.
right.
Rock.
It looks
Yeah.
carved in, I didn't.
It's composite, right?
It's
It's
carved in,
composite,
yeah.
carved in technology.
And it's composite.
Doesn't fade, doesn't, you wanna know who clued us into it was the winery, because they've been using this guy for years
Okay.
to do their
And I
signs.
think Neshoba used them too for their,
Yeah.
for the field signage.
Well, I think
Yeah.
if we do go with this area maintained by a small sign in front of the wall, if we can get that through the board of selectmen or whatever, it would be good if it looked exactly like the bigger sign.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you can.
And
You
I
can
don't know if
order
that's
from
too
him
small a
online.
job for the company in Australia or.
No,
You can order from them online, they'll do everything from a sign like this up to, you can order a sign like this online and they'll just ship it to you about here in a week. Yeah, they're pretty easy to deal with. I mean, they're gonna probably do mine next, because they're so easy to deal
so
with.
I guess, so see what DPW says about the second sign. And then in the spring, I mean, you can manage finding out who's gonna landscape it or,
We can work on that
Something
now.
like kick off before spring.
Yeah.
whatever, kick it off.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, get somebody lined up.
After the first of the year type deal.
Yeah.
We can start.
So you'll probably see Joe tomorrow.
I have to talk to him about some other things, so
Okay.
I'll ask him about it. But I'm kind of guessing it'll be like a temporary sign that they put up, just
Well, I was
because it's a
thinking about
snow
us having a
plowing,
permanent,
where they store the
permanent part of
snow.
it, where then the actual company's name can slide out. And if they don't want to do it next year, we get another company. and
I'm
we-
just worried that it would get damaged from the snow plowing.
That's
you
right,
know
Shane.
what, You're adding the
That's my,
salt.
I'm
and-
just,
Yeah,
I think
they
it's
pile
something
up,
that
they
needs
pile
to be
it up there, don't
temporary.
they?
Yeah, but if it's something that we can just.
Pull
they-
out.
They pull out before snow
Yeah.
season and
Yeah,
then put
that's
it
good.
back in this, the company actually comes up in their fall cleanup, they pull it out,
Mhm.
and then when they come back next year, they get to put it in.
Okay,
If they don't come back, they don't get to put it in.
I think that's enough about that.
Yep.
So, social media update. Facebook's just killing it these days.
Yeah.
I know like the story on the Pettit photos, it's like had like 3,500 views last time I looked, and you know, every new business, you know, story just has easily over 1,000 views, and it seems like anything we put on there that's original is getting so much traction and getting shared a lot. I mean, we're at what, 420 followers now. So, you know, we're at the point now, and that's like it's a lot of like Central Mass type things follow it too, like Central Mass local war, and I don't know, all these different Central Mass type sites. So when they share them too, so it gets really, you know, any new business type thing, it gets great traction. The typical, like when I share just some businesses post, you know, it's like 200 or 300 views, but it's just it's going really well, you know.
Good.
So, you know, we'll continue with stories. Let's see. So I have just a list of stories. I'll send this out too. So I have Amy working on a story about 626. Just all the work Frank's gone through, and just
I think the story was released, right?
no.
Or part of something, I saw something.
No, she's working on this story.
Okay.
No, it hasn't been released. But just, I asked her to ask him more questions about how he had to like literally raise the building up and put new footings and everything, you know. So I wanted to express how much work he did and, you know, how he, you know, the addition he's created to the town, and then I'll just run through this list of potential stories. So I wanted to do Country Cupboard and their renovation and the Donuts. I keep thinking, you know, Bolton Capital Group always donates so much, and I think they feel left out, so we should do something for them. We have to post a Cobham pamphlet. I want to do some Paragon manufacturing stuff. Then I just have a huge list of stuff that I can send. Oh, and I want to write an article on the cottage overlay and how it's financially beneficial, but I think I'll write that and then I'll send it to the groups. So, because that could be, I guess, controversial in some sense, so I want to have everybody on board with that one, but, anyway,
I was just gonna say, should that come from EDC or from planning board?
Yeah.
I just
Well,
feel like because that has to do with
They kind of
housing.
own it.
I know.
well, I was just gonna say how financially beneficial it could be for the town. I was not gonna really talk about, the zoning, I was gonna say how,
I just don't want us to be attacked.
no, well, I
Because
was,
we're pro for it, and then you have these
I'm a little sensitive
legacy
to that
folks
now,
come out,
yeah,
and,
because of the
and
town.
well, that's why I said I would wanna share it, but
Okay.
my thought was to say, a subdivision, a standard subdivision today, a phosphorus subdivision, financially, how this would impact the town, and then an over 55 cottage overlay, how it would be beneficial versus that. I'll just write it up. If you think it's controversial and you don't want to do it, then fine. But I thought that,
I'm fine with that.
economically speaking,
it's smarter, absolutely.
it's beneficial to the town economically, so I was like, I don't know, if people don't think it should come from the EDC, fine. I know that the planning board is gonna have, a forum on it and stuff, so, I mean, that could be part of the forum, so maybe the EDC doesn't wanna get involved, but, I don't know.
I'll include a little more. I do think we should get involved in taking a look at all that land along 495 that, so you or I who identified how much land is along the 490, if you ever look from
Yeah, but some of
117
it's residential,
to,
landlocked residential.
to Century Mill,
Yeah.
Well,
it's like a huge tract of land that's
Most of
perfect
it, I
for
think,
like
is there,
rezone
so-
it and make it commercial.
A lot of it's landlocked residential and
Yeah.
some of it's the Boy Scouts, so.
Yeah, that's where I put my effort into trying to make that commercial and make something.
My only point was, I didn't know if the EDC wanted to pick a direction on the cottage overlay that the planning board's doing, so we can talk about that.
I mean, I'm fine with picking a direction, I
Yeah.
just don't want, and I just remember on other pieces that we have done in support of some other businesses in town, we were sort of attacked.
Yeah, you were privy to that one.
Yeah, it was no big deal, I really
Yeah.
didn't care, but they do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you get it, it's always somebody ready to
Yeah.
attack you for something.
an
Yeah.
overlay, I think, it's not really our
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
Okay, well, whatever, that's fine. All right, so, let's see. Oh, welcome letters, updates, so, yeah, we continue. Right now, the system's really good where you load it up still with my signature letters.
Yeah, I think the next meeting I'll have you sign some more.
Okay. So whenever a new business files so we were completely caught up from 2016 and on. Now whenever a new business comes in and files a certificate or whatever they do,
Yep.
a letter automatically goes out to them, so they get a letter, so that's great. I think it's really welcoming and shows that the town's interested in their success. It's good that it's pretty much automatic right now, thanks to Erica. Yeah. So, business, new business, so, did you put this in the packet, this list of new businesses, or not?
I did not,
No.
but I have the printout of the email
Oh,
that I
okay.
sent you.
So there's a couple of, so there's some new businesses, some in-home businesses. There's a wedding planning business called Wendy Harrop Events. I'll send this to you if you want to put it as minutes. An educational consultant for study abroad programs named Aegis. Print and digital publishing, Easy Link Inc. These are all like in-home, so if they want, I know for Le Petit Studio and for, I just did a story for Smart Owl Productions. I asked if they would be interested in it, and they both were, so we can do the same things. And then Pole Hill Provisions, which actually is right over there, right?
Yeah, I saw that the other day, I just noticed that
He
sign.
refurbishes furniture,
Yeah.
upcycled furniture or something.
I think it's kind of neat also, kind of like, it'd be a great story piece also to do on that, because it's kind of like,
Well, he's-
it's crap, I like that kind of stuff.
So is he making use of his barn? Maybe eventually want to use the barn?
Exactly, and I talked to him about that, so once he wants to really add the retail piece of it, then he'll go before planning board.
Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, along those lines.
So does he restore pieces on the side for like a side business, or these
The-
antiques, or?
I think this is his business.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Where is it?
It's
Right
like-
over here.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the left-hand
That's a
side.
big, huge barn, right?
White
there.
barn.
There's a
Yeah.
big sign on this barn now.
Yeah, it has these like white Christmas lights inside hung up, I've noticed too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he gets like old furniture and
Yep.
rehabs it and then sells
Has he
it.
partnered with the antique store up the street, maybe, to resell some of this
Oh,
stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that, I mean, you
Yeah.
might wanna connect those two, or maybe they already have connected.
I think the idea is he wants his own showroom.
Yeah, I totally get it, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the business?
But a
name?
great lead-off piece from this one, if all of
Whole
was
Hill
looking up
Provisions.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was on the community page. I
Yeah,
think.
just recently.
Yeah, I saw the,
Yeah.
next door, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so, the planning board just went through the special permit for Cool Arts, which I think it went really well. It went smoothly, the special permit process, but it sounds like she's been doing pretty good. Had pretty good traffic and her open event was really good, so. And she was the first one to use that bylaw, so it's great to bring life to the old barns and not have them torn down or
Right,
replaced, but
right.
But to have the gallery, like kind of the gallery kind of scene, that would be great to add. And
Well,
same thing with antique
I
furniture.
was just in Old Natick the other day. I think it's called South Natick actually, and there was like an open art studios weekend, and there were a lot of people like in these barns in
Yeah.
the backyards that's where they did all their art. It was really a cool feel. There were signs were everywhere. It was like a weekend thing.
So it'd be great if we can, you know,
We'll be seeing
add
more of
that.
those at this time of the year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
So, you know, that would be a cool feature to get people into town.
yeah. Absolutely.
What else do you have here? So there's Bolton Cleaners and Tailors, they just took out a certificate? Or-
Well, it's actually, Patterson stopped by the form that they have to fill out to say we're adding this use to the
Oh,
building.
yeah, for the special
So he
permit.
was asking for my signature, and so, he's looking to add the Bolton Cleaners and Tailors.
So where's that gonna be?
It's 626?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Huh?
so there's only
Now you
like
can drop
one or
off your
two.
laundry.
Yes. Yes.
Right next door.
Get coffee. go.
So where's it in the
I'm
back?
not sure where in the building.
What's
Two spaces,
open?
first floor in the back. There's space upstairs too, next to us.
Yeah, so first floor in the back, there's the
Yeah.
restaurant space and then there's that other space.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a drop off since in the special permit.
Right,
we-
they don't do stuff.
We,
there.
in the
It's just-
special permit, I know we put no on.
Most places don't
on
anyway.
premises,
They're all
so
drop offs for the most
yeah,
part. They ship
yeah.
it all out.
They all send it out to a
Yeah.
bigger facility
Yeah.
that
So
puts the
Yeah.
permit,
So is this the name of the business or is he just
EDA
saying?
That's the name of the
That's what I'm
business.
So it's gonna be Bolton Cleaners and Tailors.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they have a real tailor, that would be a huge deal.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about that or he just gave you a
I
name?
assume that they have a tailor since
Yeah,
it's in
yeah,
their
it's the
name.
Tailors, yeah. That'd be great.
that would be huge.
Oh yeah, you're right. Taylor, they better.
That would be kind of silly to put there.
Oh, sorry, we were just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if it was like a person there or if they had it sent out. or
Oh,
something.
that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someone needs to be there to sort of like do all the, you know, with the shot.
Measuring.
Can you do it?
Sometimes they just come pin this stuff and then send it off.
They all do, yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, you get it back and it's not.
Still not perfect.
It's not right, right?
Yeah,
And then you
no.
gotta send it back again, and, yeah, so.
Yeah.
So now you never have to leave that.
I already sleep, you know,
No, we need a cobbler
people
next.
think I have a pillow under my
I have
desk.
one
but
in
I
Hudson,
live there.
kidding.
So
Supposed cobbler.
country covered.
You know where the speakeasy is in Hudson, yeah. It's not really a cobbler shop, even though front it's a cobbler
door.
shop, but behind it is the
Yes.
actual speakeasy.
Have you been there?
Yeah,
I haven't been
numerous
there.
times.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good. The drinks are great, and they have a great tapas menu. It's really good.
I haven't been there.
Yeah.
So the country covered, their septic system's all done now, right?
I believe so.
And so that covers both 470 and the future potential 470 and country covered, right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
And so Tuck and Tuck are they doing external stuff or is it just internal? Are they refacing?
no, so this site plan review is for external, they're making
Oh, okay.
they're basically giving the building a facelift.
Yeah.
And I actually provided one of the
Yeah.
site plans.
Yeah, this looks,
packets.
what an improvement.
Oh, it's gonna
Can't
be
wait.
fantastic,
Yeah.
yeah, Tuck and Tuck, do really good work.
So they're gonna have clapboard siding and
Yep, and then they do have to go before ZBA because they are looking to put a 600 square foot addition on the rear.
for ZBA or planning board?
Well, actually Board of Selectmen and ZBA, but ZBA for a variance because it is in the front yard setback. And then site plan review will look
And the
at it.
600 square feet in the back is for just storage?
It's for storage for, I believe, the Dunkin' Donuts.
And that's because
Okay.
it's pre-existing non-conforming? Country covered?
Why they have to go before variance?
Yeah.
No, it's just because it's in the front yard setback, that whole.
Did we do a
building
special,
is-
we didn't do a special permit with Would-
No,
yeah.
no,
Because that,
this,
yeah,
they came in before.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good, so that should be
But
easy.
this looks great, I'm improving.
So they're just having, that's like a storage area or something in the back for
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts or something?
And what's the time frame of all this being approved and sort of being done? Like next year will probably start, you think?
That would be my guess, yeah,
Okay.
maybe in the spring or something.
And they're gonna do all this and then decide on what to do with 470 after that?
No, I think they're gonna be doing some of it simultaneously
Yeah,
because
as soon
their
as
special
they put a
permit.
demolition permit, you said last
Yeah, they
meeting.
have to kind of move forward because their special permit
Permit's
otherwise
out.
expires.
Oh,
so
when
you
did we
gotta
do
start-
that? I forget. It seemed like it was a long time ago.
It was 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
like
they're
No,
gonna-
yeah.
they gotta start with demo at least, and
Yeah.
at least get
Yeah,
something
so that's
going.
what they plan to do. They,
Yeah.
they plan to file their demo permit, I think by
It's not older
January.
than 75 years, that house, is it?
No, it's a
No.
Cape
No.
Cod.
No,
And it's
no.
like, it's part of like the
Some
sixties.
historical societies, it has to be older than 75 years and they can put their hold on it.
It's from the
right?
sixties.
It's not gonna
It's
get
the
old.
60s now.
It's not, there's no way.
I don't wanna say yes or no, because I
Yeah.
just don't know
Yeah.
what the.
I don't think it has
what
You
any
the-
know,
historic
no.
significance.
It looks like it doesn't, but you'd be
Yeah, then you'd be
surprised.
surprised.
Some of
yeah.
these houses, they've turned them from a, what it was to something else, and then you find out it is, but
Um,
it is what it is. I mean, if it goes on to hold, what happens if it goes on hold? It eventually
They have a
goes off.
6-month hold.
Yeah. They don't care because they're now looking to probably build it. In their world, that just extends their permit further in the historical
Yeah, I
society
guess.
helps them, so. Okay, put a hold on it, we don't have to demo it, great.
I mean, the intent of the hold is to find a potential taker for the building or something, or what's the intent of those holds?
Yeah, it's just to see if they can come up with an alternative
Yeah.
to save
Yeah.
a portion of the building or
Yeah,
the building
yeah.
or, yeah.
Go in it and take historical
Yeah,
things out,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that the people at the cupboard would.
So the Skinner property officially, it went through, it
They
sold?
officially were sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Putbrush actually called me the other day. He was very excited.
That's awesome.
He's been excited the whole way through, I sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the pool guy,
He's
right?
really
Yeah, this is
happy.
great.
Yeah.
So
So-
now the pool guy just has to go before planning board to get a special permit and they're.
Yeah, so he already came for a preliminary and
Yeah, an informal
he
discussion.
was pretty much like Frank Patterson too. I mean,
Yeah,
so
he's got a
exuberant,
vision,
excited.
Yeah, for what he wants to do there, so
Yeah.
it'd be good.
That's great.
And like, I don't know, if you get a chance, go on his website, the environmental pools, I think it's probably out of Chelmsford now. The work is
You
amazing.
know who we can put in that flyer? A pool business.
And what flyer?
He'd want to be in one of those little
Yeah.
narrow flyers.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's coming into town or at the winery, I'll take it. And you just start scratching, oh, maybe I do want a pool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's true, that type of business.
That's the type of business
Yes.
that really that should be in there,
Not like a food service type.
Exactly.
More of like
exactly.
yeah, you're right. Or like landscape.
Light went off
Your
for all of
landscape.
us. Yeah, exactly.
Landscape.
Exactly.
Tuck and tuck or.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that type of thing. Yeah, you're right.
Stretching the
So maybe we shouldn't kill that, maybe we should just,
contact Andy Bennett's.
maybe we shouldn't kill that thing, just like
No, I think it's a good.
revision.
I think we should.
Just
the
the
vision
type.
is, I think, shifted. I think it
Yeah.
needs to go from those types
Yeah, I
of
think you're right.
businesses.
Yeah, I think you're right. So the site visit at Cobham, do you wanna, that was today?
That was just a quick update that it went well.
Yeah.
It was with the 495
Yeah.
Metro West Partnership.
Yeah,
So they're just
Matthews.
gonna be also sort of championing the effort to find opportunities for that building.
Yeah.
So,
And marketing it.
yeah, they're not really gonna help with the marketing, but they're, they know about it, they've seen
Yeah.
it now, so they understand it and.
Well, so like 3 months ago, Cobham wasn't ready, but I saw through that email chain that a business was looking for a facility similar to that. So pretty much that 495 partnership can help make connections.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they have kind of like a Rolodex of properties, and when somebody comes to them, they can point them to Cobham. Was there anything that the town needed? They needed help from the town, or?
Yes, there definitely is. So I'm gonna be working with the realtor because for some reason, he didn't realize that they do need to go through the special, whoever ends up buying it needs to go through the special permit process with
Yeah.
planning board. So I
Yeah.
told him I'm happy to, step by step walk
Yeah, okay.
whoever it is through that process. And
Yeah.
he's gonna get in contact with a couple of the other departments just because he had questions about renovation of the building. And so I'm gonna help him, make that
Okay.
contact, so,
So yeah, you got a handle on all that.
yeah.
Let's see. So that's it on that. Let's see what else. So it's a town policy updates. So some of the things the planning board is looking into in the next, and you'll see this at the annual town meeting, is we're looking into the coverages of business lots. Right now, we're across the board 8% for limited business, commercial, industrial, although the industrial is all over 8% anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because that's all before it went into place. So the planning board is looking into what similar towns have for coverages, and we're using kind of Stowe as our primary, so Stowe, first of all, breaks it down between limited business, commercial, and industrial, and they have different setbacks. So that the other thing with this is the setbacks. Bolton across the board is 150 feet, which just doesn't make sense. You would rather businesses be up front and parking in back. So we're looking at that for different types of businesses and break it between those things. And, how much coverage, what percent, do we go to 20%? And we're looking at different properties of what percentages we could fit there and what makes sense with wetlands and stuff. So we're looking at all that. And then how much open space we would require in that. So the thinking is there's not gonna be any residential lots that get rezoned as business. So there's no way to really grow the business that way. And I don't think we want to, even without septic, there's no way that, you want all these houses to be business. It doesn't make, the only thing that makes sense to add some tax base from businesses is to increase the coverage, the footprint coverage in those lots. So, so if you have a 10-acre lot, you can only build on 0.8 acres right now, which really doesn't make sense.
So what you guys are looking to do is really expand that.
Was a model you're looking at? What is it?
Yeah, so they use 30%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they have 30%, but then they say for a limited business, you need 20% open space. For commercial, you need 30%, and for industrial, you need 40%. I think that's what they said, right?
I did not memorize it, I have to grab my shit.
Something like that.
For your poor parking, does it?
What?
I don't think it's
Right.
cover parking, it's just the building.
No, coverage is just the building.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
But actually, so another thing we're looking at, the next one is the parking bylaw, and
We've been talking about that a while, about changing that.
yeah, so, we would require so much parking, so we're trying to have less impervious parking, and utilize shared parking. For instance, like 470 and Country Covered are right there. Do they need their separate parking, or can you say, this business operates at this time, and this business operates at that time, so you can potentially share some spots? And then looking at, like a common parking too. So just trying to, and we're modeling that off of Stowe as well, right?
Actually, yes, the parking
Yeah.
primarily is from Stowe, a couple
Yeah.
of other towns.
I know a lot of times we end up looking at Stowe, they seem to be like 5 to 10 years ahead of us in a lot of things, And Stowe is able to maintain their character, but they also have some business as well, so.
They have large business.
And I'm not saying that 30% is what we want to use, because what we're doing is we're looking at the properties that we have and seeing what makes sense. Because maybe 8% makes sense, I don't know, but we're looking at this, we're looking at Stowe, how they broke it up. Maybe you could even talk about Berlin, if you're on the EDC. Berlin's doing some interesting things.
Yeah, we haven't even, the planning board hasn't even talked to us about the parking or anything like that.
Well, but I'm talking about, you have that development at the Rotary.
Oh, yeah,
And-
we're talking about that, and we're talking about the mall area, and then Highland Commons is
Yeah.
ours too, and they're putting in a couple of new things in Highland Commons.
Yeah,
We've talked to the guy that's running Riverbridge. He
yeah.
came to one of our meetings, and we talked to him about that.
Which is the gas station, right?
Yeah, where the gas station is and where the new hotel's going up. And we're looking at drive-throughs. They're
Yeah,
to add some drive-through areas.
yeah. Like a drive-through zone.
So drive-through windows, there'd be
Yeah.
like three at the River Bridge, 3 at the mall, and 3 at Highland Commons.
Yeah. So you'd have specific zones or whatever they do.
Specific zones where you could have that in
Yeah.
other places, and we've really segregated our businesses into areas which are not downtown,
Yeah,
trying to keep the
yeah, you're little downtown.
yeah, we want the downtown to stay the way it is,
Mhm.
but again, like everybody else, we need to increase our tax base. We
Yeah.
need business, and
Right.
what kind of businesses because we have the spooky world, that whole area that
Yeah.
that,
Formers, yeah.
they're putting in adventure land behind that, so that's gonna be some kind of an outdoor recreation.
Yeah, so I
Different
think,
things.
I definitely think that Bolton could look to what Berlin's doing in those areas. So, I mean, Bolton's attitude is kind of a not in our town type attitude, whereas I think we have to pick our spot, which Mark alluded to earlier, which is clearly the 495 intersection. You know, we
Yeah.
have to really, if we're gonna build up any tax space, it's in that area.
It's in the area, 'cause
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense anywhere else.
It's right next to the highway, no one wants to live there anyway, so.
Yeah.
Put it there.
Well, that's basically what we've got. We've got
Yeah.
495, and
Yeah.
we've got the Solomon Pond,
Yeah.
Yeah,
River
yeah.
Bridge, they're all.
Yeah, they're
Right
all
there.
near those
Right,
areas.
and how do you keep, when the big box stores are
Yeah,
not
Closing.
doing so well?
Yeah.
And some of those are in Berlin,
mhm.
and then we've got the movie theater, which is looking for a liquor license.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I know like the O'Neill's one up in Littleton is gonna have, all the new ones having the stadium
Yeah.
seating with the,
Yeah, with
With
the
the beer,
luxury,
yeah.
they want the luxury.
I just went to a luxury theater in the south, down the South Shore. I was like, holy cow.
well, so that O'Neill one,
Nice.
that O'Neill
Leather
one,
seats,
Yeah.
it was powered back.
that,
My friend fell asleep. That was-
that one in Littleton is gonna be just like that.
Well, it was really nice. It was
Yeah.
nice. I was like, wow.
I can't wait for that to open.
There's one in Framingham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
really
they-
nice.
so
They
that's
bring
a-
your food to your seat.
And while you talked about partnering with that family, has all that land by the highway over by the intersection over there. I know there was a death in the family, they were working through some things, but like I said earlier, I think we should reach out to them and try to
I
partner
would
with them
love
on
to.
trying to market
Yeah.
that property together
I do
with
think,
them.
yeah.
Because they always go rogue, and that's why it never gets approved.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so-
They always go rogue. I mean, they never work jointly with us to figure it out
They
and
go
try and
rogue.
find the right.
You can write that down, Larissa, they go rogue.
But I think that's what they do. They never really have a town consensus, and they just kind of like, something randomly pops up, and everyone's like, no.
I
Yeah,
do think we should set up a meeting with, I was asking, with you and Dawn, you know, somebody from the planning board, somebody from EDC, and talk about the property and what they're thinking. I mean,
Oh, the Canes?
yeah,
Yeah, I think Mike Murphy was gonna kind of give us,
When he
or
had
at
talked-
least relay to us when it would be a good
Yeah.
time, because.
But that was like about 3 meetings ago. He
Yeah.
mentioned
I think we
that.
should
I think
talk
it's
to
time now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just drop them an email, see, you know, if they're interested in having a meeting with the town on what
Because
they're
I
thinking.
mean, Murphy, Mike we had talked about this, I think, during the right before the summer happened, that, you know, there were some changes in the family. But I think time has gone by, so
Well,
it might be a good time.
My, like, absolute fear, being that was so susceptible to 40Bs, is that some 40B moves in on that land. Because that's like,
What's a 40B?
it's
it's
a
a,
affordable housing
Yeah.
development. And we're only at 3% right now, affordable, so a 40B can go on any.
it's not so much affordable, what it is it gets to skirt many of our, it gets to skirt all of our zoning
It goes-
bylaws,
Right.
basically.
They do state
Right.
zoning.
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
state zoning, all local zoning goes out the door.
Well, either way, I mean, what's your biggest fear? That it could happen in any town, though, couldn't it?
No, but what I'm saying is that's a prime spot to potentially have some business.
So
Yeah.
do we not do anything and try not to market it with them and just pray that it doesn't happen, or do we just?
No,
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
agreeing- I'm
no,
agreeing-
I don't think anyone's disagreeing, it's just,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Yeah.
saying we should see what they're thinking.
Where we gotta get.
Push it.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
love to get like another North Point there,
Yeah.
or a smaller version, you know, something nice, a theater in there, maybe a one of those really nice gyms, Life Fitness.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of these.
I mean, it'd be a great geographic location on 495, considering there isn't really a
What's
nice
your
one
name
around
again?
here.
What's your name again?
It's a really
Sorry.
high, like really nice.
Connie. Connie.
Closest
Connie.
one is down.
Mrs. Murphy.
Framingham.
Oh,
There's one down there.
I
Oh,
think
West-
what you said,
No.
the big box stores failing.
Westwood has
No.
one.
Well, that, you know, the only
But
good
they
thing
have like
is
a- it's like a,
those,
workout
Sears
world.
and
There's Solomon Pond.
Macy's
It's like a workout
own their
world.
buildings.
Yeah.
It's not owned by,
Yeah.
as far as my thinking is, it's not owned by the mall.
Yeah.
The mall runs it for them, but they built the buildings and they own the buildings.
Yeah.
So, and what's happened in Burlington, I think it's Burlington, is that the Sears, instead of going out, they split the store and
Primark.
did their second
Yeah.
store to Primark,
Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah.
the businesses are, I work right next to the Burlington Mall,
Yeah.
and even in our commercial sort of office park development. They literally, they have built all these new restaurants going all the way down. A hotel's now there. They want to make it a destination site
But
for food.
But I think like some of the new
Which is kind of like
developments,
unusual. Yeah.
some of the new developments are going away from the standard big box store type things and like, so the
They
new-
want to make it more of an urban kind of
Right,
deal,
so the
yeah.
new one in Marble is like a perfect example of how they're doing the adventure plays and they're
Yeah.
trying to make it
Apex, yeah.
Apex, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make, so, I mean, something like that.
That Apex.
I don't know.
Well, we
I don't know, that one's.
So
That's
it's huge. I'm not saying that
And
would
it
be
has so
what.
much.
I think it's
everything.
gonna, I don't know, it'll have, you know, the 18 months, it'll be on a high, and then I think it's gonna fizzle.
Do you think so? I mean, but it's different, I mean,
tough.
you can't just do,
They're trying to do too much, I think.
well, but they couldn't just do the standard, you know, more big box stores. They're trying to do something different.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
put in
yeah.
like 3 Marlboro has more
Well, there's
hotels
so
than
many-
any place.
Hotels
But-
going up everywhere.
Yeah, they have more hotels anywhere from Boston to, I think, Springfield.
Oh, really?
They have the highest concentration of hotels in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
And they still do not have enough hotel
Yeah.
rooms.
Right, yeah.
It's because of that
Because
New England sports complex.
Exactly, the
And
New England
On
Sports
random
Complex.
nights too, you can call, like on a Tuesday night, try to get a room, you'll have to call around to multiple hotels.
That
Yeah.
and try to get any
It's
place
very
to
strange.
eat
It's
in
crazy.
Marlboro. You can't get any
Tuesday
place to
night,
eat in Marlboro
yeah.
either.
Well,
Because
We-
they have
we
all these hotels, they have all these people coming in. And what we were thinking of doing is maybe putting brochures in the hotels,
Yeah.
saying that what Berlin has to
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but Berlin is, you know, we're looking at Marlboro and it's like, they have a $600,000 budget for their economic development.
What?
$600,000.
Do you know what we have? 1,000.
No, you beat us, we're at 500.
Yeah, we beat somebody.
But yeah, they have
feel proud.
600, and they're supporting their economic development committee, or company, or whatever it's called. at
Well, Mike's
this point
always
in
talking
time.
about them.
They're supporting it through meal tax, they have
Yeah,
they get a
yeah,
part of the
somebody's
real
told me
tax, and
that.
they get a part of the room tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Marlboro has hooked on, and that's where, they don't ask their businesses for any money.
Yeah.
Everything they get is from that, and they get $600,000, and they don't get it all, they
Yeah.
just, that's
Yeah, yeah, their portion.
their portion is $600,000. They have like a staff, they have a managing director that's paid,
Yeah.
and then they have, and she's a sweetie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah, Meredith is really nice. So you've got all of that, you know,
Yeah,
going
so,
on.
so leading this back to the start of the conversation is only utilizing 8% of that prime land doesn't seem smart in my mind. So, you know, we're looking at to see what makes sense, and that'll be before the annual town meeting this year, when we come
They
with.
definitely gotta get the coverage,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
8%.
I know,
Yeah.
but, I mean, are we gonna wait until the coverage has changed before reaching out to any of these areas in town?
Well, I mean, it can't-
I don't think we should wait any longer, because
No.
maybe next year we talking about the same thing again. And
Well, I mean, you know,
I mean, we talk
when
about
you
this
reach
every
out,
year.
what you could say is that the planning board is, it's gonna go before.
It
could
it would
be-
take them a year to just move anyway, right? So
Yeah,
it's not gonna, developments don't get turned on and done.
But-
I know that, but I don't want this to be next year, and we're talking about
In
the same
4
thing
months.
again.
They take years.
Well, I mean, what we
These
could
guys
say
need to
is
line up
that,
the
you know,
finances.
just the fact that the town is looking into it, I think is a positive movement that would probably interest people. It's cottage overlay bylaw, and I kinda, I think I've talked
We,
about that.
we
then.
we know what it is.
So it's pretty much over 55.
Yeah.
It's to get rid of the kids and, you know, get some of that.
Now that all ours are in
Hey,
here,
I
we're
live in
the
an
rest.
over 50, I live in the over 55 development.
Well,
We're all going that way anyway,
No,
don't
I
worry.
think they're great, but just, I mean, I have kids, so, you know,
Yeah.
but this whole town's filled with them, but I think that they're great communities, they're more compact and
Well,
more dense.
the thing is, so it could either be
Pay
100.
taxes and don't send anybody
Right.
to
It's
school.
cool, that's what that's.
But ours is
what it
full, ours is full, the one that.
There's a wait list for
And
it.
there's a wait list.
Whenever something comes up,
People
it's sold
want it.
just like
Well,
that,
we have
yeah.
the same thing,
Yeah.
we have maybe 1 or 2 units go on the market every 6 months, if not more.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Well, there's a lot.
Yeah, gone.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who are in their 50s, their kids move out and they would like to stay in town and, you know.
Yep,
Not deal with the yard,
Yeah.
yeah.
mhm.
yep.
And we're, you know, we're right on 495. There's
Yeah.
people who work, and we're talking about Marlboro. I know at least in my business, the tech business, you got Cavium, you got AMD is there. I mean, there's a ton of companies in that area. So And recreational marijuana bylaw.
I saw that today on the town website.
So, the planning board put out a survey to see.
How much tax
Yes,
dollars
yes,
can you
yes,
get?
yes.
That's all I care about.
So,
Support our cause.
Exactly.
so there's, you can get 3%
Can
from their
EDC put a
sales,
little
gross
tax
sales.
thing on there?
3% from their gross sales and 3% whatever the business is assessed at, right?
No, it's 3%, it's a,
We're not gonna allow it in town.
I forgot
Well-
what it's called, it's an agreement.
So the planning board, we had no idea what direction to
How'd
go.
the survey go?
Well,
So-
it's
so
still
it's
in
a-
motion.
So right
I
now,
answered it.
right now,
I said,
next
tax
Friday, is
it,
it gonna
bring
be
it.
out?
What's that?
Next Friday is the survey going out? in
Yeah, it's
paper?
actually being publicized in the Bolton Independent come this Friday.
So it's going out to everybody in town.
And it's on the website.
We've been doing it online, so I guess you could say the data's kind of skewed right now because it's computer savvy people, maybe younger people, you know, a certain, I don't know. I'm just saying. It could be skewed because it's only online, but it's probably like 75% in favor of having a,
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
right?
those teenagers are getting online and saying that.
And it's not somebody doing it 100 times because we see.
I
like,
I had just done it with my kid at home, and he's like, "Do you really want no?"
we can see repeat IP addresses, right?
Oh yeah, you can see all that.
So it's like maybe 2 or 3, so it's somebody from, you know, multiple people from
Yeah,
the
it could
same
be a
house.
husband and wife, so
Yeah.
we haven't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't have.
Do you have the
Right,
recent
well,
numbers?
there's-
Last
So
year?
you don't track it by IP, don't worry, I can fix those skewed numbers, it'll look like we have plenty of responses. I'll spoof a
I
bunch
mean, I
of
mean,
these for you. I'll
There wasn't
take care of that
there
for
wasn't
you.
there were lines in there about growing it here in town too, right? Was that part of the survey?
That's part of the survey.
So the
Yeah,
survey
yeah.
is
Agriculture.
sale.
Oh,
We advertise on our sign, we have a
Yeah.
spot.
Oh my God!
Yeah, back to
Homegrown.
Homegrown.
I mean, so the thing with
We're not only known for apple, the orchards, we're also known for marijuana.
yeah.
Hold on, I
Yeah.
gotta- Actually, grow it is.
Manufacturing is, it is a manufacturing thing.
It's
not-
all done indoors,
Yeah,
right? They don't do it outdoors, they don't risk it outdoors.
Oh really? No.
No, no, it's all done
Yeah, because they do grow
hydroponic.
hydroponic year round. That's
Yeah,
right.
and
Yeah.
they do it year round, it's all indoors, it's a total science.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
so we didn't want, the plan,
CNBC has a special on it.
the planning
It's
board,
awesome.
the planning board didn't wanna do anything without knowing how the town wanted to go, because we need it to pass, otherwise.
Well, if
there's
they
no-
come and they do, let's say the land is sold and someone buys it, if they're considered agriculture, so how are they taxed? Are they taxed anything at all in terms of like if they build up this huge facility?
Yeah,
they
the
better
recreational
be.
marijuana,
Okay,
I mean, it's a
okay.
whole state
As
law.
long as we tax to the levy, I'm for it. If we don't tax to the levy, I'm against it, that's my answer.
Well,
And when
so
you say tax and a levy, what do you mean by that?
Whatever they can, we can tax up to, if the
The
state
state-
allows us
the
to go
state
to
law
three.
allows-
Because California right now is going to 35%. I don't know if you they were. It was on the news today that they're increasing the tax rate on marijuana 35%.
Well, so, I don't know what the state
They want
takes.
some money in the game.
The state
Yeah.
takes that, what I'm talking about is just the town.
Right.
The town itself can get 3% from gross sales and 3% from,
It's the agreement that they signed.
yeah,
So,
I
okay.
can't remember the name of
yeah.
it.
And how do you get that money? Because they're not allowed to have a bank account, so what do they,
Yeah.
like, bring you bags of cash?
I think there are some banks now where
Are there?
There has to be.
They
I
pay you
think
in Bitcoin.
There's no way that
Yeah.
there people are going home and putting their money in their house.
The original guys had safes, they.
Yeah, I know, because no banks would touch it
Go
because
back
there's
to
no
the
federal
money.
laws in place to protect
Right?
their
Right,
assets.
we're not allowed, no.
I guess
You
it-
wouldn't touch it, you can't
Yeah.
touch it.
If it passes,
You
we'll
get
need, we'll need to
Maybe-
officially get a
maybe
town.
they'll start
GIC
doing it in
would come down
Bitcoin.
on you.
That's what I think Bitcoin.
Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Maybe that's where it is, maybe that's why Bitcoin's at $5,000 a.
six
now?
thousand,
Is it really?
6,300.
So if the
I
planning,
bought a few shares at 37, so I'm doing all right.
if the planning board doesn't do anything, then we're just subject to the state. We're not subject to any like local zoning. There won't be any local zoning of this. So the planning board, if the town, well, our options is to ban it, which I'm not even sure if we can because the town voted for it in
I think we
positive.
can. It just has to be, it would then have to go on a ballot.
Oh, okay. So we can ban it, but from the preliminary numbers, it seems like the town wants it, so.
It all depends on who shows up at town meeting now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do all the surveys you
So-
want, you never know who shows
So
up.
what should we do? Should we, I mean, I don't want, I guess it's not, we can't talk about that here, but like, should we have 2 bylaws if the town doesn't?
Well,
have-
yeah, that will be essentially what we
So,
do.
so we'll
but-
have the first one that allows it, and then if that fails, then we'll have a second one that bans it, probably, right?
However the board wants to handle it, and
Yeah.
that is an option, so.
So,
Because we need to pass something.
so, from an EDC standpoint, these are businesses.
Yeah.
So they have to go into a business zone, right?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. it's in a zone.
Agricultural.
And the agricultural could build a facility on their agricultural, right? Would that be zoned?
No, it has,
No?
it has to be on industrial. It can't
does?
be residential, right?
Yeah, marijuana, I mean, there's an agricultural
farms are
component to it, but
residential.
it's not a farm,
Yeah.
this is a business.
Yeah.
Even the growing is a business.
Yeah,
Yeah, but so's growing apples,
no, but it's indoor, it's an indoor thing.
so is a greenhouse.
Yeah.
It can't, it's,
So is that, so you're telling me Bolton Orchards can't put a greenhouse up to grow tomatoes and things? That's agricultural, same as marijuana, excuse me, but
Yeah,
as a
when you
business
think about
guy,
it is agriculture.
I'm
But is there
gonna
more,
defend the
is there more
marijuana guy the
processing
same way.
involved than?
I mean, the
than
people work
With
there.
apples?
Yeah.
apples
I don't
taken
think
off-
there's a lot of processing that happens with marijuana. You plant the seed and you give it water and fake
Yeah.
sunlight. You're done.
Yeah,
No, but it's a high security industrial building.
that's the only difference between that and growing a tomato.
And they'll
I
have
don't
to,
think
they'll
it'll
have
be
to,
a
they'll have to
high
have chemicals in and chemicals out and holding tanks and that's a
There's,
big.
what
industrial process.
chemicals?
Yeah, they'll have chemicals.
The same chemicals, the
Fertilizers
same
and-
chemicals that are fertilizers that are used for a tomato are
I don't
used
know.
for
Liquid THC.
marijuana. Not that I'm growing the stuff and doing it, but I've watched the specials, it's not that much different.
I'm pretty sure the way we'll treat it is that.
But it is high security, I mean, the buildings, everybody goes in and everybody comes out and they make sure nobody's got anything on it. That is highly regulated, I understand that, but there's nothing that should stop us from, what happens if a farm wants to come and keep themselves in business because they can't do it in apples anymore? And do you want that to turn over to houses, or would you want to let them be able to put up a facility to grow this indoors? I mean, how does
I
it?
personally don't think it's fair to a farm in the middle of a residential neighborhood to all of a sudden put up this big industrial complex.
Well, I mean, you could put an acreage to it and some other things and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, you could have to have 50 acres or something.
Well, when we did the medical marijuana bylaw, there was an argument from the attendants that they wanted it in residential to keep it out of the way, which I didn't really understand that, and I think we ended up just doing it in industrial. Well, actually, we say in any non-residential zone, but when you say we have setbacks from schools and anywhere where kids congregate, it ends up just being the industrial zone that it's allowed.
So I don't know, I'm just saying that, I think it being a little bit, you're being a little bit, if you're just saying you can't, you're to the farms out there down the road, you don't know. I mean, apples might no longer be anything, and then all of a sudden you got Bolton Orchards up there at the top of the hill. They want to sell their, that's great property, that'd make awesome houses, by the way. And you
It's
could
not
put a
just
whole bunch in
greenhouses
there.
though,
It's a building.
it's a building.
It's a metal, it's usually a metal warehouse-looking building
Yeah, I know.
that's been built. They
Yeah.
usually put a fence around it
Well-
and security.
So, we haven't started discussing it on planning
Yeah.
board, we just sent out the survey to see what the town wants. So, if you have an
Yeah.
opinion, you should show up and we'll talk about it.
We'll try to show up. Because I think that I think you have to look at it from both, I think you have to
It'd
look
be
at
a
it from
great
that.
tax revenue.
Yeah.
And this is why we put up the survey, because
So what's the
And we
3%?
tucked away so we wouldn't-
Tax
we wouldn't
that
see it,
business, like,
which
could
would
you
be
tax
nice,
the
kinda
3%
sort
on the
of.
guy who's growing all his grow that comes out of it? You're able to tax that 3%.
I think it's 3% gross profit and then 3%.
Yeah.
It's an agreement.
So say that
Whatever the
somebody.
agreement is, yeah.
So you're
Here's
saying
the-
when they move into town,
Plus
it's
their
like
tax-
an agreement with the town, we'll
Plus
give
the
you.
taxes on the building.
Just so you know, these facilities grow, when they start growing in a very small footprint,
Yeah,
they are producing a
Millions, yeah.
monumental amount of millions of dollars.
Well,
So
look
start thinking of 3% at multiple millions of dollars in
yeah.
about a
Well,
10,000 square foot
it's up to
area.
6%. Two sets, it's 3% for gross profit.
So 6%
Yeah,
in a 10,000 square foot or 20,000 square foot area. You're talking about maximizing business use.
yeah,
There is no better maximization
true.
of your business use
Yeah.
than that on
Yeah.
footprint. I am
Yeah.
sorry, I don't care if you want it in your residential neighborhood or not. You could potentially be taking in hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue in the smallest possible, least amount of.
so that place that just got busted across CVS in Clinton,
What
Yeah,
happened? What happened?
they had a grow facility,
yeah, it's-
Oh,
and it was just this like
illegal, obviously.
illegal,
Yeah, okay.
So, do you know the building across from Stevens? It's like a house, and then there's like a little manufacturing type thing. Do you know the
yeah,
house?
oh yeah.
They
Where is this? Right,
Do you know CVS on High Street
in Clinton?
in Clinton?
The new CVS.
The new CVS?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Across the street, there's a house with like this
Yeah.
little one-story industrial thing.
Yeah,
They took out $6 million of marijuana.
and that's
out of it.
like a
That's like-
5,000 square foot building.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
$6
So-
million dollars.
Holy.
And that stuff turns over relatively quickly.
Yeah, wow.
So
That's
think of
nice.
the millions.
So anyway, so that's gonna be
It
on.
won't be higher than council. What's going on?
I mean, listen, I don't care to smoke it, I don't care what, if
Town.
people wanna
Just
do it,
tucked away, they
it's
don't
legal
see
and
it.
stuff, and we can make money on it, hey,
But-
I'm
Tucked away, I mean.
So,
Kevin O'Leary here, you know,
So-
let's
so-
go for the money.
Glenn, we just want to
You
hear
know?
what people want to, I expected it to come back in the majority in the negative, and it was exactly opposite.
I didn't think it'd come back
Most
in the
people,
negative.
and you should, in the comments, maybe we should, can we forward the results to the EDC?
Once I have them all,
Yeah, wait till the other ones.
calculated, and then at our next meeting.
So we have the
there's no rush
6 or,
to-
yeah, we have the 6 or 7 questions, and then a comment section to put whatever you want. And oh my God, like, people are like, it's funny, people are either 100% for it or 100% against it, so it's great, it's great.
It is a Mike,
It'll be polarizing.
It is a polarizing
There'll
topic,
be
let me tell you.
polarized town meetings.
We're gonna get-
Yeah.
So just planning board alone, between the cottage overlay, parking bylaw, coverage zones, and recreational, this could be like a whole night just for planning board, I think. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting,
Well, you'll tire them out before they get the recreational marijuana, maybe they'll all disappear, it'll get voted in, and then we'll be
Yeah.
all set.
yeah, we'll have to figure out what we go least controversial to most controversial, so we don't screw up all our other
Yes,
bylaws.
exactly.
Yeah. Or sneak one in at the end that people are just, like you said, worn out.
Yeah.
Fine, just whatever coverage you want, just let's get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to add? Thank you for coming. Sorry Mike wasn't here.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor? Right.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for giving us